Welcome back to the fields of Perthshire in Scotland for what will be the last dig of 2022, because it is what we call in Scotland Hogmanay, New Year's Eve. Hogmanay is an old word, probably comes from the Norse, Gaelic and also French languages. Hagnuf means holy month, or Haganuf, holy month, and we ended up with Hogmanay, or New Year's Eve. So it is for the moment just me. I'm back out on this medieval trackway. Hopefully you can just about make out the stain running in that direction. And as you've seen in the other videos, it would have ran to an old medieval fort, which dates back to the 12th century. So we got some nice finds off this field last time out, and I'm hopeful that we'll get a few more. I have to say an incredible thank you to everyone, because my target was to hit 9,000 subscribers for the 1st of January, and a couple of weeks ago it was looking unlikely. I was on about 8,900, and there has been a phenomenal surge just in the last week or so, and I think I'm now up to about 9,400. So welcome to all the new subscribers. I hope you like what you see, and I wish all of you an incredible New Year's Eve and a healthy and prosperous 2023. So my best wishes to everyone. So let's see if we can go and find some treasure. I might well be joined by one or two other people. We'll see whether or not they get out their beds. Let's see what we can find. Okay, I've been joined before I've even dug a hole with medieval Marty there, complete with the Scottish detectorist's hoodie. He's got a signal. We're actually right on that dark stain right now, and I've got a bit of a wishy-washy signal. 81, 82, 83, not brilliant, but I'm going to give it a dig just because of where I am. Now the surface is a little bit frozen, as you can see. But once I get through that crust, then hopefully I'll be able to get it out. So I'll come back to you once I've taken the top off. That was a lot deeper than I was expecting. It came from about 8 inches down, and now that it's out the ground, it's an ear blower. 87, 88. It could be a coin. In fact, I think it is a coin because I can see something right there. That is right there. That looks like a coin to me. First hole produces a coin. Is it a good one? Oh, it looks pretty decent. And you'll never guess what? I've actually remembered not only my water bottle, but also the toothbrush. I've got everything that I require. That's going to be my New Year's resolution for the year, is stop forgetting to bring all your bits and pieces. 1915. 1915. 1 penny. You can see Britannia on the reverse. And on this side, looking to the left, beautiful colour, beautiful patination. Off green colour is Georgius V. George V. So he was on the throne from about 1910 until about 1936. Fantastic, great start. Straight in with a coin. Right, wee Martin says that he's got gold. Either that or he said he's cold. So it's cold or it's gold. It's definitely gold, he says. Do you believe him? I'm not convinced. Nearly fell over. Oh, he's got gold, he's right. He's got gold, but it is...
You can make London out at the bottom.
You can make London out. It's a button. It's a gold gilded button, I think. Is it a button?
I don't know, because I can't see
a shank, yeah. Right, is that a button or is that a token of some description?
See, I thought it was a token because I thought that was a T.
Looks a bit, well, it looks a bit like an anchor, almost as well. Okay, we'll give this a wee rub up off camera and get back to you, but it's definitely been gold gilded at some point. Back to you in a second. Okay, we're not sure on this one. We think it could be some sort of token, but maybe it is a button. We can't see anywhere in the centre where there would have been a shank attached, but it's got this unusual blob. You can definitely make out the letters London, so I don't know. If you know, let us know in the comments below, but we're guessing it's probably from the end of the sort of George III era, so 1800, something like that, 1850. So let us know in the comments below. Gold on his first hole. Not exactly what I was hoping for. It's what we call in Scotland a clipper lighter made by Swan. So people still losing stuff in fields. We've got a 66 right there. And I think that might be it on the surface. I think it's a bit of lead. Might just be a bit of lead pipe. If I can get it out, there we go. Yep, that's it. A little bit of lead pipe. Probably an old bit of water pipe when people didn't realise that they were actually poisoning themselves. But it's a find. This is a lovely ear blowing signal. $79.80. Don't think it's going to be a coin. Oh, let's try and get this crust broken off. Right. Have I moved it or have I dug in the wrong place? I think I've dug in the wrong place. What's that? Is that it there? Nope, that's not it. Still a consistent 80. Ah, it's a coin, I think. See the green right there? That didn't sound at all like a coin. Well, that's brilliant if it is. 2 coins in the first 10 minutes. It is a coin. It looks like a halfpenny. Maybe on its edge. Who have we got? Not really sure. Let's get the brush out on it. Have a little clean up. Looks like Albert driving in the distance. He's only 45 minutes late, so practically on time by his standard. And it is Edward. It's Edward. The now is it the 6th or 7th? I can never remember. The 6th, I think. No, it's the 7th. So this is Dirty Bertie, to give him his nickname. Obviously not one that he'd have been particularly fond of. What have we got? 1900 and... I can't quite make it out. Right. I'm going to give this a little rub up off camera and get right back to you. It's not in the best of condition, but it is 1904. And it's a halfpenny. And it is Edward the 7th. You can see him looking to the right hand side with his fine looking beard. And this is the son of Queen Victoria. He waited 60 odd years for his mother, Victoria, to die. He took the throne in 1901. Heavy smoker, heavy drinker. And he was dead by, 1909, 1910? So he is one of the rarer coins because he just simply wasn't around for long. So not a lot of coins turn up with him on them. But that's a welcome little find. So nickname was Dirty Bertie. He was the playboy prince. Loads of mistresses, loads of illegitimate children. I liked to drink, liked a bevy, as we say in Scotland, and loved to party. Great. 2 coins, 10 minutes in. Very close to the Edward halfpenny, which was just there. We have another signal here. Coming through 79, 80, 81. It's definitely not going to be a coin this time. It's just too inconsistent. Get that off. God, I hate metal detecting in the winter. Okay, we're out. I hope it's not. I hope it's not in that frozen bit, or I'll never get it out. You don't want it to be too close to the surface because you'll not be able to thaw it out. Oh. That looks like a strip of lead. Yep. I think it's a little bit of lead. Oh, might have a hole in it. Might have two holes in it. Oh, it could actually be something interesting. It could be something interesting. Right. I thought it was just going to be a little offcut of roofing lead. Right, let's get the mighty toothbrush out and give it a little gentle brush. Oh yes, there is some decoration on there, look. There's a little pattern, there's a little cross. There is definitely something going on there. And a hole, which is damaged. And that looks like another hole right there next to it. Try and poke the soil out. Yep, definitely is, look, you can see. Come on, there we go. There we are. Look at that. That could actually be some sort of strap end. It's got decoration on that side as well. Look at that. It's made of lead, you can tell because of the white colour. It's sort of oxidised in the ground, but look, you've got lines here, you've got a cross. It looks like there's actually dots there as well. Oh, there is, look, there's 4 dots in each of the 4 crosses. Could it even be a person standing there? Could it be St Andrew, our patron saint of Scotland? Well, right, I'm going to give this a little wash with my water bottle, which I also remembered to bring and fill up, and I'll get right back to you in a moment. Looks like an interesting find. Just showing Martin my little lead thing. I'll get onto that in a minute, but he's got himself another button. It's got some writing on the back, probably a maker. I think it would have said treble gilded, so I think it's been another gold gilded button, but it's lost all its gilding. He also got himself this bizarre little thing. We're going to put that down as agricultural machinery. Don't know what it is, but if you know, let us know in the comments if it's some ancient medieval relic owned by William Wallace or Robert the Bruce. Let us know. He spotted a little base off a glass vessel. Not quite sure what that would have been. Maybe perfume. It's quite sort of elaborately made. Lots of bubbles in it, so probably a bit of age to that, 100 odd years. Probably his best find so far is this little thing. This is a little lead seal. This is a flax seal. And the little lion in the centre, a couple of letters either side, a crown above. And this is from the Low Countries. This is from the Netherlands, from Friesland or Guelders or wherever. And this is attached to bales of flax that were brought over for spinning in the mills in Perthshire into linen. So probably dates to sometime in the 1700s, but could be a little bit later. But that's a good find. Well done, Martin. Here it is. Had a little bit of a clean up. So, the $1 million question, what is it? It's got 2 crudely made holes, one of which is completely broken, which would probably explain how it's been lost in the first place. You can see an X shape here, you can see a few lines, you can see a little sort of, I don't know what you'd maybe call a scallop, a little sort of V-shape indentation at that end, and a few lines of decoration. On the other side, a bit more decoration. It's got a few lines, it's got what I think is a cross with dots in each of the 4 segments. It's got this curving shape here as well. So what is it? My guess is it would have been attached to leather, because these 2 little rivets, but you know, there's nothing. What could it catch on to? Unless that's something, but I'm not really sure. I think it's probably got a bit of age to it. I think it could be medieval. I'm about 150, 200 metres away from the old fort, which, as I mentioned before, dates back to the sort of 11th, 12th century all the way right through to the 16th, 17th century. In fact, 17th I think it was. So it could be contemporary with that, possibly a bit of horse decoration, or even worn by a human. If you know, then let me know in the comments below. Pretty chuffed with that. This one, bit of a mid-tone, 71. Maybe a button, maybe a bit of lead, but I'm right next to where I got that lead strap, which was right there. You can see the disturbed ground. We're out. I hope it's not in that frozen bit, or I'll be here all day. Unfortunately, I think it is. So it's been... Oh no. God, where is it? Oh, is that it there? It is, like it's literally sticking out the surface. Look, you see that? It looks like a washer or a rivet. Oh, might not be able to get it out, but I'll try. Here we go. Wonder if it could even relate to the little strap end. So there it is. No, it's just a little washer, unfortunately, but there we go. It's a find. Now this one is singing like a canary. 81, 82, could be a coin. Could be a coin. I don't think it's very deep. Whatever it is, oh, can't actually break the surface. Sorry for this being so bouncy, but fingers crossed it's going to be worth it. Now it doesn't sound quite so good. Maybe it was a big bit of iron. Right, I think it's out the hole. So much for being a coin if it's a big lump of iron. Is it in there? Right, just what I didn't want. A clod shot in the surface, which is frozen rock solid. That could be it there. Could be a bit of bronze. Oop. That could be it there. Could be a bit of bronze. Right, I'm going to have to thaw this out for 10 minutes in my hand and then get back to you. Well, eventually we got there. This is what it looks like once it's been thawed out. It's a lump of bronze, which explains why it was such an ear-blowing signal, especially as it was probably just half a centimetre under the surface. But one side very, very rough, the other side smooth. I can't see any sort of significant shape, although it does kind of have a flat edge. It sort of goes to a point, but it's a piece of bronze, so it's a piece of what I think is slag from metalworking, sort of leftover piece of what we'd call in Scotland dross. But it's a good sign because we get lots of pieces of worked or metalwork bronze off this field, and on the far side of this field there are at least 3, if not more, Bronze Age barrows, which are burial mounds from about 3,500 to 4,000 years ago in the Bronze Age. So we know for a fact that there are Bronze Age settlements close to here, if indeed not on this actual field. So this is maybe a sign of ancient metalworking. So, hopefully more to come. That's where the bit of bronze came from. We've got another ear-blowing signal right here, which is 85, 86. I just sort of stomped the surface because there was a few great big lumps which were making it a bit difficult to detect. Do another live dig. Still down there. Still down there. Am I in the right place? think I've moved it. In fact, see something flat right there. Yep, that's it there. That is it there. I tell you what, I think it's another bit of bronze. I think it's another bit of bronze. It is. Has it got a hole in it? No. What is that? What is that? What is that? Well, it's clearly, in fact, it's got two holes, look. Well, it doesn't have holes because they don't go all the way through. So, tell you what, it almost looks sword-like. Does it not? I don't know. Well, that is an interesting one. I need to go and show this to the boys, see what they think. But look at it, look at the way it's tapered. It's almost got that high spot down the middle, like a blade. Could it be the handle from a sword? Could it be a bit of a spear? What's the reason for the circles? They don't go all the way through. But that is bronze. Right next to a piece of bronze dross right there. So, that could be interesting. That could be old, old, old. So I'm going to have to rely on you all to... Oh, dropped it. If it's an ancient relic, dropped it. Yeah, I'm going to have to rely on you all to give me an idea of what you think that is. How old could that be? Could it even be Bronze Age? Right, I'll go and see what the boys think. And if they've got any theory, I'll get back to you. Always worth keeping your eyes open for an eyes-only find. And as we say in Scotland, there's been a murder. I don't think I'll be able to... Oh, well, I was going to say I don't think I'll be able to get it out the ground, but I did. So what have we got here? Hopefully not human. I don't know, I'm guessing maybe some sort of joint, socket or something like that. But, oh, I suppose it could be... in fact, it could actually be a sheep, couldn't it? That could be the eye socket. So, yeah, hopefully not human. I tell you what, we could have another coin. Pretty consistent 86. Definitely within the realms of a penny. Maybe. Right, spade number 2. We're out. Oh, sounds pretty reasonable to me. Right, moment of truth. Get the Garrett carrot. And Pete's also just turned up. He's only an hour and a half late. So, what have we got? Oh, that is round. That is definitely round. Is it a button? Or is it a coin? I think it's a coin, you know. Ah! It's a button. It's a bloody button. Damn, I think it's been gold gilded as well. Ah, what a shame. I thought for a wee minute there I had myself a Turner, an old Scottish coin. But I think it's a button. But it looks to be decorated. It is, like, well, it looks to be better than your average button. It's got a lovely little flower motif. That's pretty nice, isn't it? Well, it's not a coin. I thought for a minute there I had a Turner, which would mean it was from the 1600s. But not to be. What about this side? Probably just plain on this side, I would think. Yep, it looks like it. Right, I'll dry this out a little bit and I'll get back to you and see what it looks like. As expected, seems to be plain on the back. I'm guessing it would have been gold gilded all over at one point, but on this side it is a very nice little flowery motif. My guess is it's probably a woman's button, but you never know. Some men like to dress up and peacock themselves wherever possible, so who knows, it could be a man's button. And date wise, it's probably going to be sometime 17 into the beginning of the 1800s, I'd guess. Would have been a lovely button when it was made. This one, a little bit scratchy. Pretty consistent mid-tone, 65. Let's see if we can get into it. Ground's a bit crustier at this part of the field, doesn't get as much sunshine. Right. We're out. We're out, so not that deep. Top 3 or 4 inches. And the Garrett carrot, time to do its job. Well, I was going to say aluminium, but it might not be. It's a buckle. It is a buckle. It looks like a nice buckle. It looks like it's gilded as well. It's the day for gilded things. Clearly people like to look a bit wealthier than they really were back in the old days. That looks really nice. Always love a good buckle. Right. 100% it's gilded. It looks more like it's silvered or tinned rather than gold gilding. Yeah, so it's like what they call a sort of spectacle buckle, because it's kind of a bit like a pair of spectacles. But that looks really nice. A little bit of decoration on there. It's held together pretty well. Okay, I'm going to give this another little gentle clean up off camera, see if I can get it any better, and then I'll come right back to you. What I thought was silver gilded or tinned, I'm not convinced. It could actually be silver, because I cannot see any signs of any greenery, a sort of copper surface below coming through anywhere, and it's quite a heavy little thing. That could actually be a silver buckle. It's got that grey colour that they go when they oxidise in the ground. It would have had probably a little iron buckle with an iron pin there, but I think that could actually be a silver buckle. Date wise, I'm thinking Georgian. So sometime between George the First and George the Third, which would be 1714 to 1820. But there's a little bit of me that's thinking, could it be earlier? Could it be Tudor? Could it be 1500s into the sort of Charles the First, Charles the Second era, 1600? Again, I'm going to have to go for your opinions on that. I think it's either a little shoe buckle or it's a little trouser buckle. But let me know in the comments below, and I think it could be silver, which would be fantastic. So, let me know in the comments below. This is the best of Albert's finds. He's got himself something gold gilded as well. It seems to be the day for gold gilded finds. Clearly there were some fancy people living around here. So that's a little button, again probably from the 17 into the 1800s. It's been gold gilded on both sides. Could have had some decoration on that side, but it's long gone. But you can see the traces of the gilding. He's got himself another little button, which you can also see the gold coming through, and it looks to be plain, but again it might have been gilded, so they're probably both 1800s, and he's got himself similar time period, exactly the same as Martin. You can see this little lead seal, lead token from the Netherlands, with the lion with the crown above. which again is probably 1800s and associated with the import of flax. And then lastly, he's got a really old find, which is a copper turner or 2p. And that is going to date to either Charles I, Charles II, or James VI, the son of Mary Queen of Scots. So James VI was King of Scotland from 1567 to 1603. In 1603 he got the England job when Elizabeth died without children, so he became confusingly James VI of Scotland and also James I of England, and that was 1603 to 1625. And then when he died, his son Charles I got the job, 1625 to 1649. Then he got his head chopped off by Oliver Cromwell. And then we went for 10 years as a republic until Charles II was reinstated. The monarchy was brought back 1660 to 1685. So that's the sort of time period of that coin. Just a shame because it's copper and it's very, very thin. It's a hammered coin, but unfortunately made of copper, so it doesn't survive very well in the ground. But just shows you lots of history here. Over 400 years worth. Fantastic. Right, we've got an absolute cracker right here. 86, 87, it has to be a coin. Here he comes, Mr. AT Pro International. Let's see what he reckons.
I'd say a coin.
He says a coin, right. Fingers crossed it's a beautiful big hammered silver one. I doubt it, but you never know. Be a good way to end the year. Well, I think that tells me it is a coin because it's practically vanished. So I think I've turned it on its edge. Right, we're out. Oh, can't get my spade in the ground. Moment of truth. Isn't it exciting? That is not a coin. Well, that's not it. What is that? Oh, I don't believe it. It's another bit of bronze. Oh, I could have sworn that was a coin. Look at that. It's another big lump of bronze. Alright. Damn it. Well, I suppose it could still be 4,000 years old, but still, I'd have preferred it if it was a coin, to be honest. Damn, damn, damn. Well, what is it? Is it a part of something, or is it just a waste sort of fragment? Well, I don't know, to be honest. It could be some sort of tool that's broken, but then again it could be just a casting, a waste cast piece. What do you reckon to that? Again, let me know in the comments below, but it's another good sign. That's 3 bits of bronze that I've had in a relatively short space of time, so I'm sure the other boys have probably got bits as well. So let me know in the comments below. I think we've got a surface signal right here. Very consistent 77. Let me get my detector out of the way, because I think right there is a perfect little circular ball. Now, can I get it out the ground? The answer is no, I can't. Let's just try and warm it up for a wee second. I think that's it. Either that or it's a circular stone. There we go. Ta-da! That is a musket ball. Oop, dropped it. That's a musket ball. 100%. There you go. A little dimple on one side, and it is a little musket ball. So that's probably going to date to 1700s. Could be a little earlier though. As I've told you many times before, the first firearms in Scotland appear in the 1380s. And by the 1400s we have gone cannon crazy. Especially King James II, who was so obsessed with cannons that he actually blew himself up and killed himself with a cannon. But that's another story. This is an ear blower. '92, and I'm right at the, there's a joining point because there's a little T-junction in this old medieval road which comes in at this point and then runs off to my left hand side, and that is an ear blowing 92. Now we do get a lot of Georgian coins around this field. Georgian coins tend to come in around the 90, but so do silver coins. A moment of truth. Ah, it's vanished. It could be a coin on its edge, or I've dug in the wrong place. Well, that's an ear blower again, and it's out, whatever it is. I don't actually see anything though. Right. Oh no, I don't believe it. I think we've got a bloody button, have we? That can't be a button. Not that high a signal. It's actually just under the surface. I must have dug in the wrong place. I don't believe it. It's a bloody washer. How on earth can a washer put out such a fantastic signal? Damn, look how chunky it is. That's probably why. Ah, what a nightmare. Nightmare. Well, all is not lost. There's actually another signal. I just filled the hole in. Check the hole, as you always do, don't forget. And there's a mid-tone in there. There's a 64, so let's dig that back out again. See if we've got ourselves a button as well. Oh, don't believe it. There's actually a bit of silver there. How can it be a 64 though? That's it. 100%. 100%. What is that? Ugh, that's why. It's a spendable. Well, it's not. But it's Elizabeth II. It's not silver. It's cupra nickel with a silver cover over the top of it. There's no silver in it whatsoever. De Gratia Regina, Defender of the Faith, 1978, Elizabeth II. It's an old 5 pence. It's an old 5 pence piece. They replaced these when I was younger, about the early 1990s. They replaced the 5 pence piece, which this is the one that was replaced. This is the old 5 pence, and they replaced it with a 5 pence. It's about half the size, and you can see a thistle, which is the national flower of Scotland, with a crown above it. And I've dropped it yet again, honestly. So there you go. That's why it's such a low signal. There is no silver content in that whatsoever. In actual fact, you can see some bluey green coming through there, and on that side as well. So that's the sort of cupra nickel core coming through. Damn it. Not a silver coin, almost a spendable penny. I could hand that in at the bank and get a real 5 pence back. Oh well. Well, that is me. Not a bad day. 3 coins, 2 washers, annoyingly, a button, a musket ball, 3 interesting lumps of bronze. This one here, well, I don't know. Could be ancient. And then this interesting little, what I think is maybe some sort of medieval strap end or some sort of ancient medieval object. So I'll be interested to hear what you all think of that. And then also a lovely little lighter there. So, not bad for a day. Martin has just come over for a catch up. His only other find is this coin here, which is quite chunky. It's copper, and I think I can just make out a thistle in the centre. So I think this is a bobby, which would be a sixpence, a copper sixpence. And that's from the same time period as Albert's coin. So it's either going to be James VI, 1567 to 1625, or it's going to be Charles I, 1625 to 49, or it's going to be Charles II, which would be 1660 to 1685. So it's got a bit of age to it potentially. And he also got himself a massive big lump of bronze as well. So there we go. Flat on the back because it's been cast and it's landed on the soil and cooled. And the other side quite bubbly and rough. So there you go. It's a half decent signal. Could be something good. Could be ancient. And look who's just come to join me. My little puppy's here. My wife's come to harass me, tell me to get back home. Hello, Jura. Hello, Jura. She's turned into a beast. She's now 25 kilos, which is 55 pounds. She's 21 weeks old. And she's ever more confident by the day. Aren't you? Soon she'll be coming out detecting. Causing me all kinds of trouble, no doubt. But yeah, so there you go. There's my little dog. There's my little dog. Aren't you? Catching up with Pete. This is a little interesting bit of lead that he got. I don't know, maybe a bit of a pommel, a knife pommel or a dagger pommel or something. Who knows? But might just be a bit of junk. And he got himself a coin. He got himself something. Don't know what that is. Could be a halfpenny.
Be a halfpenny, I think.
There's a bit of lettering going on there. Hopefully my wife talking in the background isn't drowning out the sound, but you never know. And yeah, there's something there. Yeah, it's that's Britannia. You can just make out the words Ania round that side. You can see the big figure there, the ball gown. So, yeah, it's a coin. It's a halfpenny. It's probably going to be. It's a bit irregular in shape. It's probably going to be George I or George II. So that's 1714 to 27, or 1727 to 1760, give or take. Still. It's a wee coin for Pete. Just wanted to wish you all a very, very happy new year. And I hope you have a very prosperous, healthy, and in some cases even a wealthy 2023. So thank you all for your fantastic support. And hopefully we'll see some of you in the new year. And hopefully some fantastic finds. So thanks all for watching, have a great Hogmanay, and we'll see you all in 2023.